Is Stephen Hauck, chair of the Department of Earth, Environmental, and Planetary Sciences at Case Western Reserve University. Thanks so much for being with me. Typically, we hear rocket crash and think accident, oh no. But this is something that planetary scientists are looking forward to. Tell us what we can learn from this and why this impact is worth studying.
Good morning, Victor. Thank you for having me on this morning. This is an interesting opportunity for planetary scientists because it gives us the chance to be able to see an object hit the moon that we know when it's going to happen. So it allows us to be able to be looking for it. I mean, usually when these things happen, they're asteroids or pieces of comets, pieces of dust that are hitting the moon, and those happen every day. But we usually aren't observing those. We don't know where they're coming from. We don't know how big they are, how fast they're going. And so this gives us a real chance to really sort of calibrate our understanding of what happens when these objects hit the moon and the consequences of those, the possible impact flash, the dust that may be ejected into the outside the moon so that we're high enough that we should hopefully be able to see it. And then the impact crater that we will see on the surface of the moon afterwards with spacecraft that orbit the moon.
And so when you say we should be able to see it, are you saying that we should be able to see it, maybe with a good commercial telescope, or only the planetary scientists will be able to see it with those industrial telescopes?
That's an excellent question. Impact flashes are hard to observe in general. So this particular impact is going to happen right near the edge of the moon, and it's going to be on the the lit portion of the moon. And so we may see, if enough ejecta makes it up above the moon, we may see the plume of that. But you are going to need probably a pretty decent set of at least binoculars, most likely a telescope. There are some professional telescopes that my understanding will be aimed at it to see if they can measure it as well.
So NASA and some private companies are aiming toward this return to the moon. Is there any information that they'll learn from this intentional crash that could inform those missions to return to the moon?
Yeah, I think one of the important things is our ability to track these objects and to know where they're going to happen. Some of the future missions that are planned for the moon, even in the next year, they will be bringing with them instruments that may actually be able to detect this. For example, seismometers that are there to measure moonquakes. But even back in the Apollo era, when portions of those rockets, the Saturn V's, impacted the moon, and those were used as a source to be able to measure quakes that happened on the moon back then. And it's really useful to be able to know exactly when and where a quake is happening. On Earth, we have lots and lots and lots of seismometers, thousands of seismometers. On the moon, we may only have one or two or three at some point in the future. And so knowing where they're happening will make the science that we can do all that much better.
What's the top question you're hoping that this will answer for you?
It's an excellent question. I think one of the things that we hope to be able to see is how well can we predict, based on the tracking that we've been able to do, exactly where this crater will occur. That'll be really useful for being able to tell where these things are happening, to be able to know the size of the kinds of objects that cause these craters as well, because we're going to calibrate that information much better.
All right, Stephen Hauck, we will all be watching. Now, I don't have the great binoculars or telescopes that you have, but I will rely on the photographs that are published the next day or soon after to watch this. Thanks so much for helping us understand what's going to happen this week. Tonight on